Boom! The Tuesday night chat with the Muskrat. I'm your host, Roger DeMint, hanging out tonight with Lance Macugay. He's the cool guy everybody's been talking about, and we're going to hang out with him tonight and find out what the Hawaiian Fisherman is all about. But before we get started, I'd like to kick off the show like we always do and give thanks to the folks that make this show possible and that continue the love and support that pushes all of us to continue to create content and show up week after week. So first in the house tonight was Zach Murray. Mr. Zach Murray, he's heading out right now. He probably won't be in the show tonight, but he stopped in just to say hi. Thanks, Zach. Fishing with the Chads in the house. Uncle Lou, avid fisherman, joining us. Ernie Brown's in the house as well. Hope you're feeling better. Saw earlier you said you weren't feeling too well. Same goes for Uncle Lou. Talked to him earlier today. Prayers to you, brother. I know you're in a lot of pain and things are pretty bleak right now, but hopefully tomorrow they can get you checked out, see if they can't figure out what's going on with you and find some relief for you. So prayers to you, brother. If you need anything, you got my number. Mo Creek's in the house. Let's see. Papaw Ed. Let's see. I passed a couple folks. I seen it. Jeff Barker's in the house as well. James Kirkpatrick. Man, it's now starting to go fast. Thomas Littlepage is in the house. Thanks you guys for stopping in. Lizabella Kirkpatrick Thomas. That's a whole mouthful now. Congratulations on the wedding this last weekend. I'll say that I went and looked at her wedding pictures, and I was pretty impressed with the theme, Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm a Halloween geek myself, as we've kind of shared some photos back and forth between the Kirkpatricks for their upcoming Halloween costume contest fishing event, and so that I've got chosen to be one of the judges in that competition. So I'm looking forward to that. Kentucky Redneck Outdoors is in the house. We'll get down through here. Man, they just jumped like crazy. Fishing with the D's in the house. Mike Irvin, CVA, Central Valley Adventures is in the house. Mike Irvin, Hooks and Hammocks. There's my brother War Pig. Got me out this last weekend. Took me out on the Ohio River, chasing some cats of any kind. We didn't care. John Boy, Catfish in the house. Sharina's in the house. Thanks for stopping in. Mindy is also hanging out with us. Hats off to you two, and prayers for putting up with Lee. I can imagine if he's anything like me, I'm a big sissy when it comes to pain. And everybody says, pain is what you make of it. And I think it hurts. I don't like it. So I can imagine what that household might be like when somebody's just in a ton of pain. Stonefly 71, if I didn't say it earlier, it's worth saying twice. Thanks for stopping in, brother. And there's the third and final member of the River Warrior crew, Skip Stewart, tuning in from Florida. He's on vacation in Florida, running up and down the beach. You should see the pictures he's posting up on Facebook, having a good time, but took time out to come in and check us out and say hello. Thanks, Skip, for stopping in. Man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Dan Green Machine, listening and editing. Excited Lance is on the show. There you go. I even heard this was a sold-out show. Ernie had to get in early to make sure he got a good seat. He's in pain. I know it. I know it, Mindy. Hats off to you. I can only imagine what it's like over there. Mike Turner, 712. Thanks for stopping in, brother. Appreciate it. Chunky Cats is also with us. L. Stan Perez. Man, he seems to be popping in and getting real with every single one of these live shows. So, Chunky, thanks for tuning in. Uncle Jeep's in the house. JP3, Philip Williams, Sunfish Assassin. Holy smokes. I might not get to talk tonight, man. You're famous. Do you know that? He is famous. Maurice Cason's also in the house. Dale Hayes Slip, if I missed you earlier. Guys, hey, thanks everybody for tuning in. Rob with Two Old Vets, great to have you here, brother. But we're going to go ahead and get started because Bob Fins and Finds, I had to stop right there. Bob Fins and Finds, a fantastic event over the weekend with the Fish-A-Wish. I was so honored and pleased to be a part of it. The numbers are continuing to grow. Those guys set a goal of $1,500, and last I saw, they were over $4,000 raised for the Make-A-Wish Foundation through their efforts this last weekend. So hats off to you, brother. That was a job well done. It was fun to participate in. I want to go back and watch the whole thing again, because obviously competing in it, I missed a ton, and there was plenty of action going on. So I'm going to go back and check it out. Mark with Catfish and Crappie, and we're going to get started. How's that sound? Lance, how you doing, buddy?
Doing all right.
Doing all right.
Work.
Getting off of work. So let's first talk about the Hawaiian Fisherman. How do we come up with the Hawaiian Fisherman name?
Seeing I was born and raised in Hawaii, fished there practically all my life. Was born there. Me and my mom moved to Texas. So really my first fishing experience was actually in the Dallas-Fort Worth area growing up till I was about 5. And earliest fishing memory, I was about 4 or 5, hooked into a nice bass, if I remember correct. We was out on the boat under the bridge. And being a little kid, any size fish really looked big to me. So,
yeah. Hey, there's guys out there fish all day long for a 5-pound bass. Not us, but there are guys that do it.
But I mean, then we moved back to Hawaii. It was between Hawaii and Texas. So, and I'm part Hawaiian. So I said, oh, why not? Hawaiian Fisherman. Sounds good to me.
I like it. It's original and it sticks out. So it was a clever play. So your mom got you started into fishing.
Yeah, my mom, my grandma, and my grandma's husband at the time, my grandpa Glenn.
That's fantastic.
He taught me everything I knew when I was young. So hats off to him.
Yes, sir. All right. So tell everybody where you're living now. What kind of fishing you're getting into?
Up here, started off in Wisconsin with panfish, bluegill, crappie. Then I started doing more research on salmon fishing.
Mm-hmm.
Got into that last year. Biggest one I caught was 30.5 pounds.
Woo!
And then, and I caught that on a pan fishing rod.
Oh, boy.
On an ugly stick GX2.
Heck yeah. Those things are hard to beat.
Yeah. I fought him for about a half an hour. But anyway, met up with my buddy salmon fishing. That's how I met him. And we was like, you know what? We need to do more fishing than just panfish and salmon. We got a whole section of the year where we're not fishing. We started looking into what kind of catfish Wisconsin had. Come to find out, channel cat and flathead. And of course, the all elusive flathead, I ain't caught one yet. My buddy caught one a couple months ago, about 7 pounds. But we do pretty good with the channel cat.
You guys got some big channel cat too. We talked a little bit backstage. Would you like to enlighten everybody what the record channel cat is for Wisconsin?
The record channel cat for Wisconsin, I believe, is 43 or 44 pounds. That was back in 1962 or 63, I believe.
Wow, that's insane. I couldn't even imagine. I got my PB this weekend on the fishing tournament, and it was 21 pounds, and I'm blown away. I couldn't imagine 43 pounds of channel cat. Good Lord, that's a lot of catfish.
Yeah. I mean, my personal PB for a channel cat is 15.9 during a catfishing tournament I did last month, the beginning of August.
Right.
So, and that was just out of our river that runs through the town I live in, the Sheboygan River.
Okay.
So I personally believe they say the biggest in the Sheboygan River in this area is 20 pounds.
I got you.
But I believe there's bigger ones because nobody targets catfish around here because you can't eat the fish out of the Sheboygan River.
Because
That's
of
polluted.
industry or
contaminated
water, or
yeah, contaminated waters.
Yeah, I don't eat anything out of the Ohio River either. So
yeah, the only fish we eat out of the Sheboygan River is the burbot and the salmon when they come running up during the salmon run.
You know, I'd never even heard of a burbot until Mark, Catfish and Crappie, had got on some this last year. I didn't even know what they were and hadn't even heard of one. And since then, it seems like I've heard about them quite a bit.
Yeah, we caught a couple of them this year during the summer. They really look like a flathead.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they got the same body style, the same body shape as a flathead. Their heads are flat. They got the same tail as a flathead, and their mouths are exactly the same as a catfish.
Huh.
But from what I understand, all the research I've done on Lake Michigan, they're the only native fish to Lake Michigan.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So everything else has been introduced to that body of water?
Right.
No kidding. I did not know that.
Yeah. Out of all, I mean, the whole Lake Michigan, that's the only native fish. Everything else has been introduced from what I've picked up from research.
Huh. We talk about eating fish out of the river. We got some saugeye and walleye, striper, and whatnot out of the Ohio River. Some folks will like to catch and eat.
Mm-hmm.
Pontoon Jody's in the house. 2 stands popped in. Thanks, guys, for stopping in. Jerry with Parker Pursuits. So you're catching 30-pound salmon. What kind of gear and tackle are you using to target these kind of fish? Is it the same setups or things you use for targeting catfish, or are they different?
Yeah, it's the same setup. We run 2 setups. We run a bottom rig, same as you would for a catfish.
Right.
And we run the slip bobber in Port Washington, Wisconsin. We run skein under the slip bobber.
I got you. So what kind of rods and reels are you using to tackle these guys?
I'm using my catfishing rods, just 30-pound leader and 20-pound slime line for the main line. And I use a 1/0 Gamakatsu.
Oh yeah, for those big salmon.
Yeah.
No kidding. I would have thought you'd had to use a much larger hook. I don't salmon fish yet, but I would have just assumed.
And I run the same. I use the snail knot instead of doing the regular egg loop knot.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you tie the snail knot, you can pull that down and you can pull your line through. It's the same as the egg loop.
I got you.
Just a lot easier.
I'm not even familiar with the egg loop knot. I'd have to check into that. I'm not sure what that one is. That's a new one for me. So are you fishing from the bank, or you guys get out on a boat, or do you both?
Oh no, we're strictly bank fishermen.
Bank fishermen. There you go. There's a whole big crowd of strictly bank fishermen that love to hear that.
Yeah. We don't use any of the fancy stuff. We pick a spot and there's water. We toss the lines out. That's about it. Sit and wait.
And is that the same way for the salmon then, or do you kind of got to target a certain area of depth or water speed to get those guys?
No, we just fish like in the river. We just It's just the same as catfishing.
There you go.
I mean, when we go to like Port Washington, we fish the marina because they come in the marina and that's where they die off.
Okay.
So we're fishing maybe 6 inches off the dock. Our leaders are probably 3-4 inches from the bottom.
I have used an egg loop knot to help keep liver on a hook when I used to fish with liver. There you go, Kentucky Redneck Outdoors. He knows exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and we do two different. It's the same bait, but we fish them different ways. We make salmon sacks, which is a netting. Then you get the elastic and you tie that off to close it off, and you just stick the hook right through that. With the egg loop knot, we use the skein, which is the salmon eggs. You just cut off a chunk of the eggs and you put that behind your hook so your hook's exposed.
I got you. That's a different technique. Holy smokes. Chris Hill with the super chat, $49.99. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Thank you. So what's your favorite technique then for the catfish that you guys are targeting? So it sounds like you guys, you don't have Bluecat, so you're targeting channel cats primarily, and trying to get on these elusive flyheads. So what's your guys' primary method of getting into these big channel cats you guys have?
We pull up graphs on the phone, get the water depths of every area that we fish. So we know exactly how deep it is where we cast. Like when we go at night, late at night, we can cast out further to where the channel is in the river because there's no pleasure boaters or nobody. And during the day, we figured out where holes are in the river, big holes.
Yeah.
And we target that during the middle of the day. And we've limited out actually quite a few times. And we use shrimp, cut sucker. That's pretty much, and then stink bait.
Got you.
I got some ordered some Jules catfish dough bait. It's fiber bait, which you can actually use on your circle hooks.
Oops. Is that right? Yeah, I haven't used any stink baits, but around here I'm not normally targeting a channel cat. This last weekend for the tournament, like we talked earlier, I went up to Lake Erie and in the Sandusky Bay, and that's all it's up there is channel cat. Well, there are some flathead, but from what I understand, they're few and far between. So we just targeted the channel cats, but I haven't used those dip baits in a long, long time. I don't know if I might be missing something there, but
yeah, I mean, I like it. The one night we tried strictly just using that Jules fiber bait.
Yeah.
And we got about 15 channels. Smallest one was about 6.5 pounds. Biggest was 9, I believe, 8 or 9 pounds.
Hey,
so good eater size.
I'm starting to like channel cats more and more. I got to be honest. Once I started out catching channel cats, when I was younger, and I caught my first flathead when I was like 12 or 13. I got a ridiculous picture somewhere about it, but and I kind of left the channel cats alone. But now here lately, I find myself enjoying the channel cats more and more than I ever used to, and they're just, they're fun. They're a good time. They don't get as big, but man, they don't. They fight like they're just as big.
Yeah, in my opinion, the channel cat, pound for pound, I think they fight the hardest.
You got a whole bunch of people that agree with that. I'll tell you that right now. I'm one of them. They fight hard.
Yeah, they do.
I can't imagine what a 44-pound channel cat fights like. That'd be amazing.
I mean, an 8-pounder we caught one night. The drag was loose on my buddy's reel, and the channel cat hit so hard he almost pulled it. He almost pulled the rod in the river.
No kidding.
Yeah,
I believe it, man.
I caught it while the rod was balancing on the top of the guardrail.
No kidding.
And that was only from a 8-pound channel cat. So I mean, and I fished for blues, and I've never had, and I've caught, my biggest blue was in Texas. It was a 30-pounder.
It was how big?
30-pound
blue. That's a great blue.
Yeah, that was out of Lake Livingston down there.
That's good. We got a question for you. Has Lance fished at Mendota for channel cats?
No, I have not.
I'd say after last year's adventures from everybody, there'll be a lot more people wanting to venture to Mendota. I'm one of them.
Yeah, I'm 2.5 hours north of Mendota.
Okay, well, that's not too bad.
No,
that's not. Woo. Took a drink of my lemonade and got me all choked up. So when Lance isn't out there after the big king salmon and chasing the catfish, what else does Lance get into? We talked earlier. You said you got a couple little girls that enjoy fishing as well.
Yeah, they love fishing. I mean, they grew up doing it. I mean, my youngest, she was 1.5 years. Took her a while to get the walking down, but it was funny. We went pan fishing for bluegill, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'd cast the rod out for her and just told her anytime she feels something tug, just yank. She caught 12 hand-sized bluegill that day. And that's the day she started walking.
No kidding.
Yeah, she started walking that day. So I missed her first steps, technically, because I was outside cleaning 65 bluegill.
Well, that's a memory that'll last forever. That's a great story. So how old are you girls now?
Oldest is 13. My youngest will be 12 this year. Next month, actually. A couple weeks, actually.
Oh, boy. I got a 16-year-old, and man, I've been through all that. That's a whole bunch of fun.
Yeah.
So I started with this question, but I got sidetracked because that's how I am. What other hobbies do you enjoy getting into? Do you have any other special talents or hobbies that you enjoy on the side?
I do hunting every once in a while.
Gotcha.
This year, I haven't gotten out. And last year I didn't get out because we was chasing salmon hard last year, and burbot. So, and this year we're doing the same thing. We're actually going to try and chase catfish during the winter here now this year.
Yeah,
because one of the spots we fish, there's a power plant, and they shoot hot water out into the harbor, into the marina, which keeps it about 80 to 90 degrees. And
even in the winter?
Yeah. No, during the winter too.
Wow. Holy cow.
Yeah, they say they do that to keep the zebra mussels out of the pipes.
Yep, we got places like that on the Ohio. They they actually shoot big blasts of water. There's certain areas that one that comes to mind is down around Ripley, Ohio, on the Ohio River, and they blast the water up in the sky to blow the zebra mussels off the screens for the water intake for the facility, and because the zebra mussels are that bad. Justin says, "Ask if I can come salmon fishing with him."
Invitation is open for anybody who wants to try some salmon fishing. It's not a guarantee you're going to catch one, but once you hook into one, that's fun.
Yeah, I'll tell Justin
I never thought they would fight as hard as they do, but man, I think they give a striper a run for their money, because when they grab that line, they just run. If you don't know how to play your drag, they'll spool you in a heartbeat. I've seen a lot of guys get spooled.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I've heard they're very hard fighting fish. That's one of the things that got my interest. When I asked you to send me a couple pictures for the show tonight, you sent me this big salmon. I'm like, holy cow, that's big salmon.
Yeah, that one was a 29-pounder.
Okay, I was going to ask if that was the 30.
No, that one was that one there, he was 29.
I got you.
And that's actually one they planted because he don't have that back dorsal fin or whatever it is right before the tail. They cut those off. But I caught naturals also. I think that 30.5-pounder I caught, he was a natural. He was born in Lake Michigan.
That's what I was getting ready to say. So when you say they're not natural, is that they're coming from a hatchery?
Yeah. Like this year,
it's pretty weird.
Yeah, they actually planted 70,000 king salmon this year. And what they do, we actually seen, they put a big cube out there, a net, and they leave them in there for quite a while. And then after so long, they'll release them in the marina, and that fish remembers how to get back to that marina when it's time for salmon run.
I've seen documentaries where they've got these big elaborate hatcheries that I see them take them all the way up on big conveyor belts and down tubes and then the big holding tanks, and it's a very in-depth, complicated process, and that the most essential part of the process is the fact that the fish have that natural instinct to get back to where they were born, and that makes the whole cycle work, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
Where is Lance living now?
I am in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. I'm 2 minutes from Lake Michigan, actually.
2 minutes? Holy cow. Yeah. That'd get me in a whole bunch of trouble. I get myself in enough trouble as it is.
Yeah.
So what got you interested in coming into the catfish? I mean, I know you said you're kind of new to the catfishing. You guys were looking for more opportunity to fish and picked up catfish. And what got you, is there a channel that popped out in your mind or somebody that stood out that got you pulled into the catfish community? Because you came in, I mean, like a wrecking ball. We see you everywhere. It's nice.
Yeah, I mean, I've been catfishing ever since I was a kid, because even in Hawaii, they got reservoirs where there's catfish. So I've done ocean and freshwater fishing all my life. So the catfishing, it's nothing new to me. Now the catfish community on YouTube, yeah, it's new. Yeah. The one I seen, very first one I seen was, I believe it was Chunky.
That's it right there. That answers everything. That's why you're hooked. You watch it. You watch Chunky, and that's it.
Yeah, I was like, well, on YouTube and just going through, and that popped up. I was like, oh, fishing. I was like, what is this circus? Lights and all. But man, that's what got me. Then I started picking up everybody else.
There you go. That's awesome. Yeah, Chunky is a great ambassador for the catfish community. He gets out there and he has a good time, no drama. You can't help, his laugh is contagious. I don't care what you're doing. You hear Chunky laugh in the background and you giggle. When we did the tournament this weekend, I could hear Chunky on my phone back there giggling, and Zach and I both started smiling or laughing because it's just contagious. And
then, I mean, after Chunky, Stan's channel popped up. 2 Stans.
Another good.
But I mean, I was in the live chats quite a while, just never commented. Just watching how everybody communicates, talks.
Yep.
And then finally I was like, you know what? A few months ago, I was like, I think I'm gonna just start making videos and see how it goes.
Yeah, I seen Dee drop your link out there earlier. Thank you, Dee, for that. But if anybody's interested in picking up Lance's channel, it's in the description below tonight, and also it's in chat here. Uncle G wants to know if when you go fishing, do you have any lucky charms? Lucky hat, lucky rod, shirt, don't bathe for a week, stuff like that.
Not really. When it comes to fishing, I ain't superstitious at all.
Yeah.
I'll fish. It don't matter what the weather is. Like that catfishing tournament, when I won that channel cat division of that tournament, it was a thunderstorm, lightning, rain, and I fished the full 24 hours.
Oh, wow. That's a long tournament.
Yeah. So yeah, when it comes to fishing, no superstitions. I mean, even when they say east winds ain't good, I've caught some fish with winds coming out of the east.
Two Stands says, thank you, Lance. That is awesome. I truly appreciate that. Glad you're Two Stands fishing family. Heck yeah, man. I missed another one. I had another one up there. I don't remember what it was. Oh, Chunky was his first two. So here's always a tough question. So if you had to if you got to pick one YouTuber that you've been watching to go fishing with for a day, who would you like to go fishing with if you had the opportunity?
Wow. Yeah, that is a hard one.
I knew it. That's always a tough one because nobody wants to put somebody on the spot. They're like, you don't want to hurt anybody's feeling. We all got our favorites. You know what I mean? I got my favorites too. I'm lucky, very fortunate to where a lot of my idols I've already been able to fish with. Doc Lang and Chris Souders are local in Ohio here. And they're both fantastic fishermen. And I've been fortunate enough to fish with both of them. And, there's a whole list of guys that I would love to fish with, one after another. Chris, for you not to pick Chad.
Yeah, there ain't just one. It's everybody. I would love to travel and just fish with everybody.
Yeah, that's that's on my list. I would love to be able to just take a Muskrat worldwide trip and just start on the East Coast and just travel and travel and travel and fish with everybody. Because I truly enjoy, there's a lot of folks here in chat, and this is a great place to meet people like-minded that really have a passion for catfishing. And I fished with a lot of folks. Right here's War Pig. We were fishing this Sunday, and his wife texted him and said, "Don't come back until you catch a fish," because we had a rough day. We were getting skunked, and she said, "Don't come back until you catch a fish." And but I fished with, I'm going down through. I fished with Chad. I fished with Bill there. Fished with Justin's Fishing Fetish, Chrissy Brown, Ernie Brown, Two Stands. I mean, I've met Mark with Catfish and Crappie. We didn't get to fish, unfortunately, at the time. But man, it's so nice to be able to run into these people and find out where it all starts and comes from, and get together and wet a line.
Yeah, I figure everybody's talking about Mendota in the spring. I can knock off a good chunk of that list if I get down there. Because that would a lot of people talking about fishing Mendota during the spring. So,
yeah, that's one of the cool things about these big meet and greets or big planned events is as opposed to going through and fishing with each person. There's only so many weekends or weeks at a time that you can get away, but when they all come together, that really turns out to be an awesome experience.
Yeah.
Pontoon Jody says, come down to Tennessee. We're heading to Tennessee on Friday. Zach and I, looks like I believe Friday, we're heading down to Nickajack Lake, and we're going to start fishing their Tennessee River chain, and who knows where we end up. Zach and I don't really stick to a game plan, or we just kind of go with the flow. No pun intended, being on the river there. But
yeah,
we just wait and see what happens, and we go with it.
See, and I've fished the Mississippi because when I was living in Texas, I actually worked in Louisiana, and we did a lot of fishing on the Mississippi down there in that area. Also did a lot of fishing in the swamps there in Louisiana.
Oh, no kidding.
Huh?
That's pretty awesome there. Really in our catfish family, the only one I could think of is Country Boy Catfishing. He's down around that area, and then obviously Creole Jeremy fishes that area.
Yeah. So I mean, now up here in Wisconsin, I'm about 5 hours, I think, from the Mississippi. It's on the west side of the state.
That's not bad.
Huh?
That's not bad. 5 hours and be on the Mississippi.
Yeah. So, I mean, I fished the Mississippi too when I was down in Illinois visiting friends there. And that was actually pretty awesome. Got some nice catfish there.
So what type of videos? So there's a lot of live streams, and it's hard to keep up with all of them. There's so many new live events, and some of the live streams get to be 4 or 5, 12 hours long if you're watching Epic. If you ever get a chance to watch videos, what type of videos, and this is just something I'm working on for myself, what kind of videos do you guys feel engaging with? So do you look at entertaining videos that are fun to watch, or do you have a tendency to lean more towards educational videos, DIY stuff, or just techniques and different things?
I mean, I like watching the different techniques. I like them all, but just learning what everybody uses as for rigs and stuff, different rig setups and different types of line they use. Me, myself, I'm a mono man. I will not use braid.
Well, just knowing what I know, I would say that's because you're bank fishing, and braid is not friendly to rocks and hangups when you're coming in on shore.
Right.
Am I close? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my buddy that I fish with, he uses braid, and he actually does pretty good with it. But I'm trying to convert him to strictly mono.
Inner tube has limited range, and my arms get tired. Two Stands also out there dropping your link, helping share the love. Where do you see your channel going? You got aspirations to create more content, or possibly do some live fishing, or what do you envision for yourself and your channel?
Oh yeah, I've done a couple live streams just to test it out, see how that goes. I just want to make videos. If my channel gets a bunch of subscribers, a bunch of hook sets, that's good, but mainly I'm just doing it to have fun.
And that's
just something to look back on.
Yep, that's what makes it what makes it fun is when you go back and start watching your first videos and relive those moments. That, to me, that's what it's all about. Skip wants to know, what kind of rigs do you use?
I use 3-way. I got 3-way rigs. I use the Santee rig, regular Carolina rigs, and I make my own sinkers. So except for egg sinkers, I gotta get the mold for that. But then I use anywhere from the Gamakatsu 1/0 hooks up to 8/0 8/0 circle hooks.
I got you. Trying to make sure I keep up with any questions in chat here. All right, here's a great compliment for you, Lance. For your first show, you're killing it. Good job. And I'd like to follow that up with you know, I'm going to assume this is your first like live interview, basically.
Oh yeah, I was actually surprised you asked me because I'm just me.
Yeah, we were just talking, and you know, I think it's important when we see, you know, new folks come into the catfish community, become a family member, that we take some time and get to know them a little bit. And you know, to be honest with you, there's so many channels out there, and there's a lot of great folks I would love to have on the show. I mean, a ton. But a lot of folks are, you know, already doing live shows, or already in events and things like that, and getting some exposure. And I was just curious. We were talking, you know, on Facebook there for a while, and we talked about having you on the show, and said, let's do it. And here we are.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, anytime you're ready to hook into a salmon, just give me a heads up.
I'm going to tell you right now, that's a great invite. I've been doing a lot of different type of fishing. I have never hooked a salmon, so we just might be able to work something out here for too long. So what time of year is the you know, the best, or the season for the salmon when it comes to, you know, targeting them?
For the salmon run, I mean, early spring, if you want to go out in Lake Michigan on a boat, you get numbers there. You can get size, but people mainly they're going for numbers. They just want that silver. And I've done research. People say once they change color, the only way to eat them is you smoke them.
Right. I've heard that. And
of course, me being me, I did all the research I could. Well, come to find out, everybody's used to the salmon being that reddish, orange, pink color, whatever.
Right.
There's actually there's salmon out there that have white meat. It's all depends on their diet. They consider it ivory. And in the restaurant industry, the ivory colored meat salmon is actually very expensive.
Really?
Yeah, per pound, they want a lot of money.
So
I started.
What causes the difference between the two meats? Different species, or
no? It's just a different diet.
Really?
Yeah, they say it's just a different diet.
Does the can you tell from the outside, to the skin or the color or anything like that, what type of meat that is inside? Do their outside colorings reflect the meat inside?
No, the coloring, when the salmon change color during the spawn,
yeah,
that's just something natural. Has nothing. It's their spawning colors.
Right.
From everything I've researched, that's their spawning colors, but you can't tell until you go to fillet them. I
got you. Well, the reason I ask is, you know, if you're catching and you're targeting, you're wanting that white meat. If you could tell once you caught it whether this fish is going to be the sought after white meat, or if it was going to be, you know, the pink orange meat that we're all used to seeing.
No, you can't really tell.
Gotcha.
Now, like any other fish, you can tell if it's good to keep or not because the firmness on the outside.
Right. Right.
But,
So early spring, when they're coming in for spawning cycle, is the best time to get after them.
well, they come in. Yeah, I mean that's when the charter boats start going out, like May, around April, May. They start getting ready to go out, and being bank fishermen, if you're bank fishing for them, you got to wait till fall. Usually they start running about September, the end of August, early September. This year, they're in the marinas, but nobody's really catching them. There's sporadic catches here and there. Other than that, nobody's been catching them right now, just because the water's way too hot.
I got you. Yeah, you said water temp is like 90 degrees right now there.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Hey, Mike said he said that Lance is legit. He's in everybody's feed supporting and out fishing himself. He accidentally hooked up pre-community. You saw one of his shorts and hooked him, and he hooked you back, and you've seen him all over. And some other folks commenting as well. Of course, he added awesome, humble guy. Lance is definitely supporting everyone. So people are noticing, man, that you're out in the community. We see you popping in everybody's live streams and sharing the love and making the family a better place. So I'm trying to, I know I probably missed some stuff there. I kind of got caught up in, what you were saying because the salmon thing really interested me, man. It's different species. Oh man, Mike, thank you very much. Please hook set Lance. He's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Yeah, if you guys haven't already taken a look at him, sounds like you got some big plans of making some more videos, just having some fun. In my experience, just be yourself and do what you enjoy doing. If editing doesn't turn out to be something you truly enjoy, then, do live streams, or you don't have to edit. You can put what you want out there.
Yeah, I mean, I tried doing some editing, but the way I look at it, I'm gonna just keep it real.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Just cut the edit. I ain't gonna edit no videos. If I catch a fish, you're gonna see it. If I don't catch a fish, there won't be a video.
There you go. Snagging Whisters agrees with that. Liz says the same thing. Keeps up great work. And we're all excited to kind of see what unfolds. I'll be honest, I took off with it and did a lot of editing and spent a lot of time. And here lately, Roger's World's been pretty upside down. So I haven't been able to do a whole lot of editing, get a lot done. But I'm working on trying to get things turned back right and get things moving again. So let's see. I had a couple more questions for you. You're pretty fluent with this as it is. I actually was watching some of your their videos, and I thought it was interesting. You have a pet named Coco.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's you want to tell everybody what Coco is?
Coco is a ball python. She's actually a chocolate ball python.
Yes.
My oldest daughter, 6 years ago, she asked me if she could have a snake. And I was like, okay, well, what kind of snake? She was like, a ball python. So I did research. I researched everything I could on them. And she's 6 years now? She's 6 years old. And she's probably about 4 feet.
No kidding.
Yeah, they're good snakes. They're not poisonous. They're a constrictor, so.
Right.
I mean, she's awesome. They say ball pythons are head shy. But
really?
She wants you to actually touch her head.
No kidding.
Yeah, she'll put her head when I'm holding her. She'll put her head between my fingers, and I can just pet her like a dog.
That's pretty neat. Yeah, yeah. Most boas that I've been around very many, but what I've known about them is that they are head shy. They don't want you touching their head.
Yeah, she's different. Then
Like I said,
I also got a red-nosed pit, and she's so vicious she'll lick you to death.
I got a Doberman just like that. She sounds really, really mean on the other side of the door. When you get inside, she's your buddy. But I don't tell anybody that. Hey, Mike says, hey, don't be afraid to show skunk or bloopers. It reminds all of us fishing ain't always easy breezy. That's one of the cool things about live shows is, it's real. It's unedited. It's it's real raw. Sometimes you get them and sometimes you don't.
Right. I mean, I got 2 lives out there. One was salmon fishing. We got skunked. And the guy across the river by the boat ramp, he got one the night before.
Oh, really? And asks, there's a bald python. Is there a hairy python? John's coming in with jokes. Skunk, what's that? He never seen one of them.
So, I mean, yeah, fishing is fishing. If we caught fish all the time, it would be called fishing.
That's right.
It'd be called catching. And I don't care. I don't care if I catch fish or not. It actually brings back memories, especially when I was growing up. My dad would take off. I'd get home from school. We'd take off for the weekend. He would have either his pickup loaded up, and we'd just stay gone Friday, come back Sunday evening.
Heck yeah. Saya said they lost power one time in New York winter. He had to have their python sleep on his chest just to keep it warm.
Yep. They need that heat.
Yeah. Uncle Jeep says we have some super friendly snakes here in Arizona called rattlesnakes. They greet you with a noise maker and then jump out to kiss you if you get too close.
Oh, yeah. I've ran into copperheads down in Texas, too.
Solo, thanks for stopping in, buddy. Appreciate you being here, man. Appreciate everybody being here. We've had a great show tonight, man. I think we're up to like 60 folks in chat. If you guys haven't hit the thumbs up yet and you've enjoyed hanging out with Lance tonight, Lance stole the show. It's a good job, man. I've really enjoyed sitting here talking with you.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me.
It's like hanging out on the boat. This is kind of one of my favorite comments I ever got doing these live streams is it's like you're just hanging out on the boat and just talking.
Yep, exactly.
John says it takes real talent, to get a skunk every time. If you guys haven't seen his big old tower over there and all the fun stuff that John and Dana's doing, you're missing out. They are fantastic, fantastic people. The new thumbnail, if you guys were paying attention earlier in the week, I had a thumbnail up for Lance and I. And John just, you know how John is. John just likes to make thumbnails and help people out. And he sent one to me. I said, man, that's way better than what I did. And we decided to use it tonight. So thank you, John. He also helped me out a little bit with the upcoming event we've got coming up for the Catfishing for Kids event, the Halloween edition. I've got all the rules and everything set in place. All the thumbnails and everything are done. I don't know. Let me see if I can. I was going to try to pull it up here real quick, but I'm trying to remember how to bring in.
Speaking of cheddar bedders, I used to work at Johnsonville.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You know anybody that can get
there for about 6 months?
I was going to say, do you know anybody that can get me sponsored over there? I've been pushing Johnsonville cheddar bedders. Share tab. We got share and video file. Oops. Oops. I was trying to find
No, Uncle Jeep, I cannot get a discount. Don't know anybody that works out there no more.
Well, I thought I could get the thing to pop right up. Can you get us a discount? Oh, I think I'm getting there now. Well, thought I was. It shows it being there until I click on it, and it shows it not being there. Well, poo. We'll get it set up. So we've got the Catfishing for Kids tournament coming up on the 30th. I'll have everything scheduled and set up probably tomorrow. But those of you that are here tonight get a little sneak peek on what that's going to look like. We're going to do a Catfishing for Kids event where dressing up and having fun could win you the tournament. Potentially win the tournament without catching a fish. The way that works is going to be it's all going to be based on a point system. Fish 1 through 10 pounds is 1 point, 10 to 20 is 2 points, so on and so forth. 20 to 30 is 3 points, 30 to 44 points, 50 and up is 10 points automatic. If a kid dresses up for the event, it's automatic 3 points. If they stay dressed up while they fish, it's 6 points. If the adult accompanying the child dresses up, it is 5 points. And if they stay dressed up through the event, it's 10 points. So ideally, if a kid and an adult shows up for this tournament dressed and ready to compete and stays in costume, 16 points would be their score to beat. And every fish after that would be add to the tally. If people don't participate in the costume part of the contest and only want to fish, that would be fine. But potentially, you could win the tournament and not catch a fish. So we'll see how that goes. We'll have fun. Yeah. Now Jody says she wants some cheddar betters. Oh boy, here we go. Uncle Jeep's going to dress up as Palmetto Cats. Oh man, that does not sound fun. We have a hybrid rattlesnake that's crossed between a diamondback and a timber rattler. They are scary huge.
Wow.
There it is. Justin and Gabby will be dressed. So I guarantee that's going to be fun. Do not dress up as chicken during any catfish tournament. Everybody's sharing some love. So we're going to wrap things up. It's almost 9 o'clock. And I know we got some other folks wanting to pop on after we're done here. And so Lance, you got anything for everybody out there? Has anybody got anything for Lance before we check out for the night?
No, I ain't got nothing. See everybody in live chat. That's
right. That's right. Hey, Lance, thanks again for taking time out tonight to hang out with us. I really, truly enjoyed talking to you. And I just might take you up on that invite to come up here and get after some of those big salmon. So be watching your messenger for that. And,
all right.
For everybody else, thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you guys back here next week. Same cat time, same cat channel. We'll see you guys. Have a good night.